Hey, what's happening? Hey, this Big Red from Westside Jungles, Street Gospel. Somebody asked me a question today that made me think about the speculations of how did my name really come about, Reverend Jones. Hmm. So I'm gonna take a moment to share with you guys just how the name came about, because a lot of people that know me don't realize that I actually grew up in the city, and when I say the city, I mean Black Peachstone, the city. As a kid, my partner that I first was running around, we was known as Blackstone Kenny. My three amigos that I ended up like really growing up with was Ronald Gowdy, called him Blockhead, Pay Dog, who's the dog, and me. My name came about really from a distinction of how I was living my life. I was really fascinated about an episode that I saw on TV, um, a special about this reverend that was had a diabolical mind to the point to where he led people to Guyana. They called it the Guyana tragedy, Reverend Jim Jones. And it's so ironic that at the end of the day, my name was going to be something different. Everybody was kicking around different names that I should be called once I really came off the porch and started really understanding the culture which I was being brought up in. Frank Nitty from the Biddy was one of them. But Kenny said that, man, you like a reverend. And it came about because of how I was dressed. How I always dressed. I dressed in V-necks, with red flag ties. Always wore button-ups and slacks. I wasn't into khakis and Levi's and corduroys and all that at that time. I pretty much wore shoes. Come from a real humble beginning. And the name stuck because of the fact that how I was so into the Bible. Um, a Baptist. And the name became synonymous with just danger and death. The symbol that I used at the time was a cross with two pitchforks going between them, Reverend J. Jones. And the J stands for Jimmy, well, mimicking Reverend Jim Jones. Over the years, the name got chopped down from Reverend J. Jones to Reverend Jones. Over the years, came about to be just Reverend Jones. That's what I came known as. Over the years of my life, it's something that really followed me to the point where I took on a persona of this character that we built and made from all those that I met, all those that taught on to me, because I was a very studious individual. I wanted to know really what Blackstone really meant. What was the actual culture, the actual mind state? How was you supposed to feel to say that I'm from Almighty Black Peachstone Nation? One of the Bibles that I studied at the time was called Locked Out Americans. It tells the story of Jeff Ford and Eugene Harrison coming up in the south side of Chicago. This is what I learned a lot about being a Blackstone, everything that I needed to know about what it meant to stand tall and stand strong as a black man in a racially ruled country, an offshoot of the Panthers, I would say. I never talked to Jeff Ford personally. I've never met him. I don't know Eugene Harrison as personal. You have to talk to my older brothers about that. Gunnar Jones and Lil Sweet Gunnar Jones. And I'm just the ladies of the Joneses from Chicago, South Side, 36 and Woodlawn. At that time, it was Joneses and it was McCoys. I just happened to come up under the creed of Jones. Those who know what I'm speaking about, that's older than me, that I have never met, know exactly what I'm talking about. And I say this to say that this is just part one of where my name came from, being called Reverend Jones, Big Rev, G Rev. But I'm giving you the original version as far as the actual facts of how my name came about. It was given to me, and it took hold by a young brother, peace and blessing on his soul, Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation, I'm a father. Love you, Blackstone Kenny. And it goes on from there. I just want to take a moment just to share with you how the name Rev, Reverend Jones, Big Rev, G Rev, whatever you would like to call me, depends on how intimate our relationship is and how well you know me, determines of how you would speak to me or how you would call my name. So when I hear somebody say Reverend Jones, I can tell the time frame with which we've known each other. If you say Reverend Jim Jones, then I know that, man, we really go to the sandbox. If you say Big Rev, then I know that you came along, at the time that you got to know me, when it was a little Rev available, and ultimately a baby Rev. Let me make this point perfectly clear. There's no tiny Rev on this planet at all. So whoever is speculated, think that it is, you're hearing it from me. Big Rev. There's no such person as a tiny Rev. It's Big Rev, it's Lil Rev, and it's Baby Rev. That's the official chair. Nothing other than that. I will sign off now to let you know that I appreciate y'all signing up to Street Gospel and hearing from a Baby Stone, even though I'm ranked as a G today. But I came up under other people as well that made it possible for me to be here talking to you today. That God needed and directed my path. Taught on to me the things that I need to know in order to become the person I am today. All the mistakes and errors that I've made, I own up to them. But now is the opportunity for me to take the time out to try to correct some of those wrongs and errors. Because at the end of the day, the original Black Peace Stone Rangers, the Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation, the El Rukins, so on and so forth, was based on the protection of a neighborhood with which we called our own. Stone love, stone running, stone to the bone. It meant that we'll live and die and kill for the black people that reside within our boundaries. We've lost our focus as what our original forefathers meant for us to be doing. Something to ponder, especially if you're a Black Peace Stone. And I always go back to this. Peace. Whatever neighborhood, whatever set, city you may be in, and you claiming to be an almighty black peace stone from the nation, you have to remember one thing. Peace, pride, people, prosperity is the core that make up who we are. The symbolic black stone that sits in the holy city of Mecca in the eastern corner of the Kaaba. Those who don't know, that is called the black stone. This is our heritage, this is our culture, this is how we gravitate. Stand at a 45-degree angle and face the east to pray under the tenets and guidance of Islam as a peace stone. So think on that for a moment and ponder that. Any and every peace stone that is listening to me, that is hearing this video, seeing it for the first time, I want you to take a step back, bow down and submit to God, and think about what is it that you really represent as a peace stone, as I am doing myself by simply just making this video for you to hear. All is well, Mo. On the 5. Some people might ask, what do I mean by that when I throw up the 5? It stands for love. Love your brother and your sister. Love your fellow man. Truth. Stand on truth and facts. Peace. If it's all else, establish peace. And if all else fails, war is what you want, you have come to the right place. Freedom. Free of any nonsense, foolishness that does not stand for what we stand for. Have the freedom of mind to think and to reflect on the rules and regulations of the nation with which you claim to be a part of, as a stone, part of a pyramid. Justice. What do I mean by justice? It's a just cause. There's rules and regulations that govern your life. You do this, this will happen. If you cause yourself to become in violation, then you should understand what the keys will cause that violation to be. These are things that we have lost. These are things that must be found. And no matter how I or anyone else speaks to you or talk to you, you have to have the consciousness of mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit to seek out this information, to find the truth of what you're claiming. I can't give it to you. I can't make you take it. I can't make you learn it. This is something that's a self-imposed discipline. And as a peace stone, we have to get back to that. And with that, I'll bid you all farewell. You may wonder why I'm sitting in my car saying this, because I just pulled up. I was finna go in the house with my wife, and I was just thinking about this before I went in. And I said to myself, let me share this with my people, with my followers, with my subscribers. I hope that you've gained a little something from what I've said. And trust and believe. If it be the will of God, there will be more to come of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation. From me, myself, G Rev, Street Gospel. I'm just a member. I don't run shit, and I don't own shit, and I ain't started shit. But what I do know is that the rules and regulations of the nation must be followed. Must be. And we have to get back to that. Let it be the will of God.